A good Saturday morning from Columbus, Georgia, day 3 of the 42nd annual NAIA Softball World Series begins with a ball outside from Annalise Wood, the starting pitcher for Georgia Gwinnett, the Grizzlies, the number 5 seed in the bracket. And in the losers bracket here today, after advancing yesterday in a winner move on, loser go home match with Baker. That was yesterday morning at 10. Georgia Gwinnett survives and advances as they win the game 6-2. We'll dive into how they got there. As this game progresses, Annalise Wood, the starter in the circle. Lined up the middle. A lead-off single for Kalena Oots for the Central Methodist Eagles, the 8 seed. Central Methodist defeated Baker in round 1. Both these teams, their wins this tournament coming against the Wildcats of Baker, who have been eliminated. Central Methodist loses to Oregon Tech yesterday. That was at 4 p.m. A 4-1 win for the number 1 seeded Owls of OIT sends Central Methodist into the losing bracket for this matchup here today against Georgia Gwinnett. 0-2 quickly on Jolie Kreider with Kalena Oots, the leadoff batter for the Eagles, on base to start things off. Annalise Wood, impressive this season, one of the best in the nation. A .78 ERA, 23 wins to just 3 losses on the season, approaching 200 innings pitched with well over 250 strikeouts at 287. All those numbers simply mean she's darn good. She'll attack you right away from the circle. The freshman was the pitcher of the year for Bryan College last year before transferring to Georgia Gwinnett. However, she gives up 2 hits to start the game as Jolie Kreider rips one up the middle for a base hit. No outs. Madison White steps up with the game's first scoring run in scoring position as Kalena Oots advances to second. Madison White, 1 for 3 in the game against Oregon Tech on yesterday's schedule. She had a game-winning walk-off 2-run homer in the win over Baker in round 1. That game, a pitcher's duel between Jordan Ball and Kira Baker. Skied high. Still in play. Sydney Pelaez not able to hang on as that one was sent up above the rooftop and came all the way down about 50 or so feet. Straight up into the air that one went. Tough to read for the catcher Pelaez. But Madison White now down 0-2. Slaps one to right. This could be trouble. Back at the wall. It's gone! A 3-run shot for Madison White. Her second home run of the World Series. We've yet to have an out in Columbus, Georgia this Saturday morning, and the Eagles are in flight. What a way to start the day. Josie Hawk is fired up in the dugout for Central Methodist, and why not? Playing for their season to keep it alive. Central Methodist had the tough task of taking on the #1 seed in Oregon Tech, who was chomping at the bit and frankly made it look real easy taking care of business yesterday in a 4-1 victory over these Eagles. Three straight hits to start the game for the Eagles. 2 singles and a homer. Elizabeth Palumbo stands in. Not much to clean up in the #4 spot for the first baseman, as the freshman Palumbo stands in. The scoreboard has been reset at R.G. Jones Field. Mr. Terry Hall lets us know the count is 1-2 from behind the plate. Annalise Wood deals, called strike 3. Palumbo goes down looking for the first out on the day. Annalise Wood gets strikeout #1. Madison Roberts in the 5-hole. It's .342. 1 for 3 yesterday with a single. Roberts 1 for 5 at the plate in the World Series between the 2 games. She slaps it to left. A tough read, but Logan Aller regains her footing and makes the play. 2 down. To Montana Stengel we go. Junior outfielder injured to start this season. Montana Stengel wears that knee brace. Captain on the team. Has to lean back matrix style to get out of the way of that pitch from Annalise Wood, who methodically grabs the rosin. The sophomore pitcher fires in strike 2. A 1-2 count on the 6-hole hitter Montana Stengel after Madison White electrified the Eagles in the first. Stengel stays alive. Annalise Wood with the momentum in her hand. Down 3-zip. When talking to Matt Mahoney, the play-by-play broadcaster calling this game on the radio waves for Georgia Gwinnett College, as he does for all of their athletic teams, he said the energy of this team relies on their pitcher. However, Annalise Wood is feeling sets the tone for the rest of the fielders when the Grizzlies are on the field. Wood just misses inside. Terry Hall gets a chance to set the strike zone that he will work with today. The 3-2 fouled away. Mr. Hall behind home plate called strike 3 on Elizabeth Palumbo earlier in this inning. That one catching the outside corner down low. A tipped foul ball right into the mitt of Sydney Pelaez ends the top of the first. 3 leadoff hits for Central Methodist. Oots, Kreider, both with singles. And Madison White sends one out of the park. A 3-0 lead for Central Methodist. The bats of the Grizzlies get a chance to respond for the first time this Saturday morning from Columbus after this.
I have a little birthday message for you from someone too.
I heard you really love basketball. You're a good shooter and a good dribbler. Happy birthday, MJ, and hope you enjoy your day.
Thank you. You're welcome.
A 3-run homer for Madison White in the top of the first. Put the Eagles up 3-0, heading to the field for the first time today. The Grizzlies of Georgia Gwinnett, fresh off a 6-run performance in the win over Baker. They trailed 1-0 in that game. After the top of the third, they responded in the bottom half of that inning immediately. Bases loaded walk. It's Chloe Goins in that one, scored Pelaez for the game's tying run in the bottom of the third. And then again, hit by pitch. Angelica Gallegos took the trot down the first base path. That was in the third inning for Georgia Gwinnett. They left the bases loaded 2 times yesterday against Baker. Still came away with the victory. After putting up 4 runs in the 4th inning. A full count walk to Sydney Pelaez starts things off with a base runner for the Grizzlies. Now Josie Hawk. Junior infielder lays down a bunt that advances Pelaez. Easy play for Jordan Ball. Starting pitcher for the Eagles, getting help from her third baseman, Jolie Kreider. One down, Lindsey Owen, the designated player, strides in. Jordan Ball appearing in her 25th game of her freshman campaign. 19 wins, 3 losses. over a strikeout an inning this year, with an ERA of 1.32. Jordan Ball, one of the many stellar pitchers who made their trip to Columbus, Georgia today for the NAIA Softball World Series. A pop-up down the third base line drops, though foul. Some miscommunication there between Madison Roberts and Jolie Kreider. I beg your pardon, it's a fair ball and ruled a single. So the first hit of the game for the Grizzlies comes in odd fashion for the designated player Lindsey Owen, who takes her place at first. Leah McFadden in the cleanup spot can tie the ball game with one swing of the bat here. I apologize. It is ruled an error. That allows Lindsey Owen to take her place at first. No catcher's interference. We'll just run through the lineup of the possibilities of what could have happened to allow Lindsey Owen to get first before giving you the correct information. My apologies. Lindsey Owen reaches on catcher's interference. So an error on the catcher, Lauren Hill. Skied to center. Kalena Oots easily makes the run to the edge of the infield for 2 down. (3-0) the lead for Central Methodist, their freshman pitcher with run support before she took the circle. Jordan Ball threw a perfect game this season in her freshman campaign against Peru State back on April the 22nd. Even after throwing that perfect game, head coach Pat Reardon told me she's so hard on herself that even after a perfect performance in the circle, she was asking everyone how she could be better. Tough to be better than perfect. Just shows you the kind of mentality and dedication to greatness that the Fayette, Missouri native has. The 1-1 slap to left. Casey Jolly ends the first inning as the Grizzlies leave 2 stranded, and they trail 3-0 heading into the second. The NAIA Softball World Series continues on.
The landscape of sports is changing. AI is the next evolution. We're bringing it to fields and gyms everywhere with Huddle Focus. Just mount it, set it, and forget it. Multiple lenses, AI player tracking, automatic recording, or record on the fly with the Focus app. Instant uploads and flexible live streaming options. AI is changing sports. Use it to your advantage. Visit huddle.com/focus today.
A slight breeze in Columbus, Georgia this morning. It has been fantastic from a weather standpoint so far, and it looks to be the same throughout the rest of the tournament, with a champion to be crowned next week, Wednesday. We've been in the 80s in terms of degrees since the start of this tournament back on Thursday. A quick peek at the forecast shows nothing but sunny skies smiling down on R.G. Jones Field in Columbus, Georgia for the next week. Mother Nature must take a liking to the matchups we have set for today. As Casey Jolly stays alive, down 0-2 to lead off the second for Central Methodist. 3 games following this today. At 1 p.m., it's the 2 seed Our Lady of the Lake against the 10-seeded Midland Warriors, who knocked out USAO yesterday. Our Lady of the Lake falling to Marion in the first big upset of the tournament last night. That game at 1 p.m. After that, it's a rematch of the 2021 National Championship game between Southern Oregon and Oregon Tech. Called strike 3 on Casey Jolly. 3rd strikeout on the day for Annalise Wood. 2nd one called looking. Well, Lauren Hill comes up. Our final game on the day at 7 p.m., highly anticipated. The Patriots of the University of Cumberlands, who earned themselves a bye yesterday with a win on Thursday over USAO, 2-1. Hill skies one down the first baseline, just out of play. Josie Hawk made the long run towards the fence, just to the right of the bleachers, where the Midland Warriors prepare doing their hair. The style, always important to any softball player. A blooper to center, easy for Chloe Goins for out number 2. The 9-hole hitter, Caitlin Kaiser, steps up. Annalise Wood deals inside. That almost had Kaiser doing a 360. Popped up just off the edge of the roof and the crossbar, right back to Annalise Wood. Georgia Gwinnett lost their first game of this tournament to Southern Oregon in the 4-5 matchup. The final score was 5-1, thanks to a bases-loaded walk to Riley Donovan and a Kayla Williams grand slam, all coming in the bottom of the 3rd. For Southern Oregon, they took that 5-0 lead into the 5th. Sydney Pelaez with a solo shot made it 5-1. That was all she wrote. Beautiful piece of hitting for Caitlin Kaiser through the hole and left. A 2-out base hit brings up the top of the lineup with Kalena Utz striding in. Kalena, a culture piece to this Georgia Gwinnett, I beg your pardon, the Central Methodist lineup. The junior center fielder, one of the veteran-most players on this Eagles squad. The 2023 Heart of America Conference Player of the Year takes ball one. When looking for a place to play at the next level, she was curious for NAIAs and local Division IIs. Wanted to go somewhere she could play all 4 years. She started for 3 years in center field for the Eagles, but she ends the top of the first after popping out to Summer Hickson. 3-0 the lead remains for Central Methodist. Georgia Gwinnett, looking for their first hit, has a chance to get it on the other side of this break.
Sell online tickets directly from your school's website. Scan digital or printed tickets with the Hometown Gate app. And get immediate access to ticket revenue with real-time reporting at no cost to your school. It's that easy to bring touchless ticketing to your hometown. Hometown. Fast scans, happy fans.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. I thought, if that's out there, I want to make sure I see it and I get involved in it, because to me, this was music to my ears. I was blown away. When you look at today's kid, the millennium kid, they learn by being able to see it. If I can see it, it's a great chance that I can do it. The First Down Playbook is a tool that can essentially change the way we teach the game.
Six, 7, 8 for Georgia Gwinnett. After a runner is left stranded to end the top of the second. The Grizzlies they defeated number 2 seeded Coastal Georgia in 11 innings, 6-5 in the opening round to earn a spot in the 42nd Annual Spring Classic in Columbus. Georgia Gwinnett had a chance to end the game with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Up to Coastal Georgia. 2 outs, 2 strikes. 4 chances. But it was a long at bat that resulted in the game's tying run. They played almost another full game in that one, 11 innings. But luckily for Georgia Gwinnett, they were able to find some clutch hitting in the 11th. A fair ball down the third baseline. Angelica Gallegos with a leadoff single and the first hit of the ball game for Georgia Gwinnett. Just to put a bow on that story of Georgia Gwinnett's opening round victory over Coastal Georgia, the Battle of the Peach State, if you will, it was Leah McFadden, the first baseman, who singled to bring in Lindsey Owen for the game-winning run in the 11th. Here's a throw that misses the shortstop Madison Roberts from the catcher Lauren Hill, neatly backed up by Kalena Utz, who walks herself back into the grass in center field. A bunt to the pitcher. Ball over to first in time for out number 1. Logan Aller sacrifices herself to move Angelica Gallegos to second. Coach Kat Eilenberg relaying the signals at the third baseline to both her batter, Summer Hickson, and Gallegos over at second. In the first inning, Josie Hawk sacrifice bunted to move Sydney Pelaez over to second. An error brought Lindsay Owen to first. Those two runners left stranded. So you can tell Coach Eilenberg really focusing on putting her batters in the best position to succeed, moving the runners over. Down 3-0 early. One swing of the bat puts Georgia Gwinnett on the board. To the fence it rolls. A stand-up double for Summer Hickson, scores Gallegos. The lead cut down to 2. 1 out gone by in the second. And a Lackey steps up for the first time today. A beautiful piece of hitting from Summer Hickson to find the gap in left center between Utz and Casey Jolly. And a Lackey hitting .345 this season. She's 0 for 3 in the World Series with 3 walks. Lackey's last time on base against Baker yesterday. She got caught in a rundown between third and home. She splits the infield and moves Hickson to third. TOP, top of the lineup for Georgia Gwinnett as Sydney Pelaez comes in with just 1 out in the bottom of the second. Her team, 1 swing of the bat away from changing the story of this game, which began with Central Methodist taking a 3-0 lead in the top of the first. The 3 leadoff batters, all 3 of the first hitters for the Eagles in the lineup with hits to start this ball game. And a 3-run shot for Madison White put Central Methodist in the driver's seat early. Now, their freshman Jordan Ball has a chat with Central Methodist's assistant coach. It's Jonathan Lynch who came out to talk. Pitching coach for the Eagles. One out for Sidney Pelaez, reached on a walk in the first. Don't be surprised if Coach Kat Eilenberg decides to double steal Summer Hickson and Anna Lackey. Hickson speedy over at first base. I beg your pardon, that's Anna Lackey over at first, who gets down in the track stance before every pitch. Really getting a good jump off the bag. No sign of movement on the base paths just yet. Runners at the corners, one out. One run already has scored this half inning. Called strike three, throw to second. Not in time as Anna Lackey takes the steal on the looking K to Sidney Pelaez. Josie Hawk. She sacrificed herself in the first with a bunt. This time you can expect her to swing away. Josie scored twice yesterday against Baker. The two times she made it on base via error and fielder's choice, she came around to score. Though the sun is shining brightly down on R.G. Jones Field, just 69 degrees at the South Common Softball Complex. Relative to what we've had the past couple of days and what we're expected to heat up to as today rolls on, the morning game chillier, especially with a little bit of wind, than what we're used to. The 2-1 called strike two on the outside. Now the freshman can get out of the jam with two runners in scoring position. Josie Hawk stands in and stays alive. Batting .346 this year, Josie Hawk. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. The freshman is fired up. The Eagles get out of the jam. Georgia Gwinnett leaves two stranded. They score one. It's a 3-1 lead for Central Methodist, who heads to the bats. The energy for the Central Methodist Eagles, shown by their freshman pitcher after going back-to-back strikeouts to end the bottom of the second after suffering just one run against. Hoping to provide a spark to the bats of the Eagles, who have yet to reach farther than first base since the 3-run homer in the first for Madison White. Just one hit overall since then, as Annalise Wood has been dealing. She does again here, now 0-2 on the leadoff batter, Jolie Kreider. Part of the entourage that Madison White brought with her to home plate on the home run in first. Kreider reached on a single. Kreider playing defense at the plate. Slices that one from the lefty batter's box into the bullpen of Georgia Gwinnett down the third baseline. Kreider, the freshman, goes down swinging. Annalise Wood, strikeout number 4 already. Anything you can do, I can do better, says Annalise Wood after watching her competitor Jordan Ball end the bottom of the second with back-to-back Ks. Wood starts the third with a strikeout of her own. That is Madison White. A 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th for Central Methodist. Allowed them to defeat Baker in the opening round, and she has been the best hitter in the World Series for Central Methodist. Another hit. 2 for 2 with a homer and a single. Elizabeth Palumbo, a strikeout looking in the first. Has yet to reach first base in the World Series. Pops one to third. Gallegos retires out number 2. Madison Roberts. She went down with a fly to left in her first at-bat. She had one of the best opening rounds on the team from the plate. Through the Eagles' schedule in the World Series opening round, she skies one to right, just before the fence, and a lackey reaches up and makes the play. 3-1 we stand, heading into the bottom of the third. Georgia Gwinnett looking to build off the momentum they ignited last inning after this.
These lights were never meant to stay dark. These seats were never meant to stay empty. These places were never built to stay quiet. Game day looks different today. It might take some getting used to, but we come here for the same purpose: to celebrate, to embrace in heartbreak, to hope.
Excellence knows it's not going to be perfect.
It's about putting courage first,
Taking risks, trusting my athleticism.
canceling out the negativity.
Because preparation equals confidence.
And confidence is born from courage.
What's your mantra?
Two runners left on base in each the first and second innings for Georgia Gwinnett. The Grizzlies looking to take care of their runners left on. They were able to beat Baker yesterday in an elimination game despite leaving 7 on base throughout the course of the game. Twice with the bases loaded, Georgia Gwinnett went down. Owens slaps it. Lindsey Owens spent time at Albany State University last year. One of a few transfers in the lineup for Georgia Gwinnett this season. The sophomore perhaps got an upgrade in facilities. Wraps it to short, across the diamond in time for out number 1. It's the first time Madison Roberts has gotten involved defensively for the Eagles today. Now officially makes her impact on both sides of the ball. Ball called off by Jolie Kreider. And had Kreider not wanted it, Madison Roberts was there as well. All three read that off the bat of Leah McFadden quite easily on the first pitch, swinging 2 down. Thanks to the pop-up to Leah McFadden. Chloe Goins flew out to left in her first time up. The junior Chloe Goins from Macon, Georgia. In the opening round against Coastal Georgia, Goins in center field had an impressive throw from center to home plate with bases loaded on a pop fly to her in center. She made the catch and found Sydney Pelaez behind the plate with an excellent toss right on the money. Got the runner out by a mile. The double play ended the 7th before Georgia Gwinnett's season would have been on the line in a winner-take-all third game. Or second game, rather, against Coastal Georgia in the opening round. I asked if Sydney Pelaez knew that her center fielder had that toss in her. She said, without a doubt. And without a doubt, she nutmegs Madison Roberts at short. The bouncer makes its way through the legs of the freshman at shortstop. An error on Madison Roberts. Gets Goins to first base. Just the second time Goins has reached first this World Series. 0 for 5 prior to this game with a walk. Outside toss, Lauren Hill pump fakes the throw back to first. Seems like every catcher in this World Series is well aware of the runner at first. Always ready to throw behind the runner. The 2-0 is low. Jordan Ball has lost the zone in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. After her freshman shortstop neglected to make the routine 6-3. Ball finds the zone now with strike 1. Still plenty of softball to be played in Columbus, Georgia. At least 10 more games on the docket at R.G. Jones Field before the red banner is awarded to our national champion. The payoff pitch. Gallegos on with a walk. Chloe Goins to second. Logan Aller to the plate with 2 down. The Grizzlies have put together 2 base runners in a row. Georgia Gwinnett playing with house money after the error on Madison Roberts kept this inning going. That got Goins on at first. With the second walk of the day against Jordan Ball going to Angelica Gallegos, Logan Aller, who sacrificed bunted in the second, has a chance to cut the deficit down once more for Georgia Gwinnett. The Grizzlies trailed 3-0 after the top of the first. Scored 1 and left 2 last inning. Called strike 2. That levels the count at 2 apiece. 3-1 the score, 2 down. The 2-2 from Jordan Ball. Once more, 2 are left by the Grizzlies on the bases. Jordan Ball gets out of it once more.
At Spring Arbor University, we develop world changers focused on shining the light of Jesus Christ into the world. They are engineers, nurses, business professionals, teachers, athletes, musicians, social workers, and other industry leaders, bringing excellence to their work for the glory of God. Join our thousands of students and graduates and let your light shine at Spring Arbor University.
I have a little birthday message for you from someone too.
I heard you really love basketball. You're a good shooter and a good dribbler. Happy birthday, MJ, and I hope you enjoy your day.
Thank you. You're welcome.
The Midland Warriors taking in early morning softball, preparing themselves for their meeting with Our Lady of the Lake at 1 p.m. in the losers bracket. The Warriors defeated USAO yesterday in a win or go home scenario. The 10 seed who knocked off last year's national champion in the opening round in Oklahoma City. Midland continues to shock the world after they fell to Marion in round 1. They take on the team that Marion beat in round 2, Our Lady of the Lake. The fourth inning has begun at R.G. Jones Field. 6, 7, 8 due up in this inning with Montana Stengel taking ball 2, nearly falling forward on the pitch from Annalise Wood. A sub 8, a sub 08, I should say, ERA for the freshman pitcher. Annalise Wood just stellar throughout this entire season. Wood earns strikeout number 5. Jolly with a single to left. One pitch is all Casey Jolly needed to see after going down looking in the second. Casey wastes no time getting the bat off her shoulders in the fourth for a one-out single. Lauren Hill turns on the first pitch she sees and ties the ball game. Or rather, Central Methodist adds on to their lead, 5-1 now as the Eagles turn to their catcher, who builds onto the impressive performance. All runs scored by Central Methodist coming on home runs. 2 pitches back to back, a single for Jolly and a home run for Lauren Hill. And the Eagles extend their lead to 4. Team full of home runs this World Series. Central Methodist won their first game on a walk-off 2-run homer from Madison White. Two homers in this game so far. Central Methodist rolling. But Caitlin Kaiser goes down looking for the 6th strikeout on the day for the sophomore Annalise Wood. Kalena Oots, top of the order, singled and popped out. In this game, at least. The junior captain slaps to third. Gallegos across the diamond to McFadden for out number 3. Another bomb for the Eagles of Central Methodist. 5-1 the lead. Georgia Gwinnett, a chance to mount a comeback in the bottom of the 4th. my apologies to the Georgia Gwinnett fans who perhaps were driving listening to the game and thought that their team had tied things up in the top of the fourth. It was instead a 2-run shot for Lauryn Hill that extended the lead for the Eagles to 5-1 and puts Georgia Gwinnett in quite a hole. Now, in the bottom of the fourth, with the team in white and green trailing by 4. The team in black and green dealing with their freshman pitcher, Jordan Ball. Three strikeouts on the day for Ball. Her most recent one ended the third, leaving 2 runners on in all 3 innings for Georgia Gwinnett. Summer Hickson to the gap in left center, gone! That one, assuredly, for the Grizzlies of Georgia Gwinnett. A solo shot brings GGC within 3. Not too much celebration for the freshman from Southwest Ranches, Florida. It looked as though that might die near the fence. Instead, it just carried all the way out of here, just left of our center field camera. Now Enna Lackey. If this is the game of home runs, a 3-run lead is nothing. Already 3 bombs sent out since the top of the first. But in such a game where both pitchers are giving up long shots, I would anticipate Jordan Ball and Annalise Wood going as long as either of these 2 coaches can handle the cardiac issues of every swing of the bat potentially going out of the park. That one went right into the mitt of Jolie Kreider for a liner at third. Top of the lineup, Sydney Pelaez. 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout today. Went down looking in the second. Sydney Pelaez from Tampa, Florida. She played just about everything you could imagine in high school, a 5-sport athlete. Soccer, swim, cross country, track, but above all else, softball. Big cut from the senior catcher. Earned herself a degree in political science and international relations. On top of that, a criminal justice minor. The amount of double and triple majors even in this World Series. So surprising and admirable how they're able to compete at such a high level on the diamond. The 2-2. Got a piece of Pelaez. She's all right. Readjusts the mask. Takes her place at first. First hit batter on the day. for either squad. Pelaez comes out. Off the bench for GGC, Emerson Hall. Hall, a perfect 15 for 15 in stealing bases this year. Part of a very efficient stolen base club for Kat Eilenberg this season. Out of 170 attempts, Georgia Gwinnett has been thrown out just 14 times. 92%. A big takeoff and the throw down. Perhaps a better chance to get Emerson Hall without the pump fake from Lauren Hill before firing it down. But Hall takes quite the mighty lead off of first base on the pitch from Jordan Ball. There's the throw right away. That one much closer and forces Hall to dive back. This is tricky to keep track of. You've got the pitcher Ball, the catcher Hill, and the runner at first Hall. There goes Hall. The throw from Hill gets away from Roberts. Emerson Hall remains perfect in stolen bases. That is quite the image and celebration for Emerson Hall at second. Runner in scoring position with one out. Ripped to third. The look over to Hall. Throw to first, not in time. Hall gets third anyway. Jolie Kreider did her best to keep Emerson at bay in the base path. But the play at first. Josie Hawk easily beats out the throw. That brings out a coach from both dugouts. Kat Eilenberg talking with her team and Lindsay Owen, trailing by 3. Lindsay represents the game-tying run, stepping up to the plate. That is Central Methodist assistant coach Jonathan Lynch. It is indeed game day for the Eagles, as it has been for the last 3 days. They won their first, lost their second, which places them in the losers bracket for a meeting with Georgia Gwinnett today with their season on the line. Lindsay Owen with one out. And a runner 60 feet away at third, another 60 at first. A slap bunt to short. No play, a run scores. Emerson Hall with elite base running. Makes her head coach, Kat Eilenberg, look like a genius, bringing her off the bench for Pelaez. And a beautiful bunt. The slap hit from Lindsay Owen, perfectly placed. Like a putt from 25 yards away. Rolls it just in time to Madison Roberts, who was sitting back in the infield. It split the pitcher Ball and the third baseman Kreider. No play available for Madison Roberts. Runners at first and second, one out. A 5-3 ball game, a single to left, a one-run game. Josie Hawk comes around to score from second as Leah McFadden converts for the Grizzlies. Lindsey Owen to third. And that does it for Jordan Ball. Quickly the hook, and she quickly sprints off the diamond. As Pat Reardon comes out. The head coach of Central Methodist makes a change in the circle. We'll tell you about Sydney Ball's replacement after this.
The landscape of sports is changing. AI is the next evolution. We're bringing it to fields and gyms everywhere with Huddle Focus. Just mount it, set it, and forget it. Multiple lenses, AI player tracking, automatic recording, or record on the fly with the Focus app. Instant uploads and flexible live streaming options. AI is changing sports. Use it to your advantage. Visit huddle.com/focus today.
Sell online tickets directly from your school's website. Scan digital or printed tickets with the Hometown Gate app. And get immediate access to ticket revenue with real-time reporting at no cost to your school. It's that easy to bring touchless ticketing to your hometown. Hometown. Fast scans, happy fans.
Haley Cotter, the freshman pitcher, comes in to replace her classmate Jordan Ball. Jordan ends the day 3 1/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, with 3 strikeouts. This 4th inning started out with a solo shot from Summer Hickson. That was the crinkled up newspaper at the bottom of the fire that is ignited. Pump fake throw, now a run down at the third baseline. Tag applied. That's out number 2. The runners advance to second and third with Lindsey Owen getting caught in the rundown. Lauren Hill, great pump fake to first to bait Lindsey Owen into advancing down the line. Just enough to make the play. 2 away. Chloe Goins reaches on the fielder's choice and advances to second, while Leah McFadden goes from first to third. (5-4). The lead for Central Methodist. It was 5-1 entering the bottom of the 4th. Out number 3, right to Jolie Kreider. The Eagles get out of the jam with 2 runners on for the 4th straight inning, but the momentum has swung in favor of Georgia Gwinnett. 3 runs put up in the bottom of the 4th. It's anybody's ball game. Central Methodist, a chance to add on to their 1-run lead in the top of the 5th after this.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. I thought, if that's out there, I want to make sure I see it and I get involved in it, because to me, this was music to my ears. I was blown away. When you look at today's kid, the millennium kid, they learn by being able to see it. If I can see it, it's a great chance that I can do it. The First Down Playbook is a tool that can essentially change the way we teach the game.
We got a new pitcher. That we do. Out. And a new pitcher for Georgia Gwinnett, Alexa Good. Out of the pen, the senior from Pembroke Pines, Florida. She's 11-4 this season. This is Good's first appearance in the World Series this year. High fly ball to center. Off the wall. That threw Chloe Goines off for a moment, as Jolie Kreider starts things off with a leadoff double. Right off that red banner. Looked like it went under the banner on the fence. Rolls out. Goines was able to track it down before any more damage was done. A leadoff double for Jolie Kreider. The way that came off the bat sounded and felt like it would go the distance for the game's 4th home run. Instead, had the fence been at 219, it would have made it out, but at 220, it just hits the top part. And Alexa Good up 0-2 in the count as Madison White, one of, if not the hottest hitter in the World Series, steps up to the plate with 2 hits today. Her first, a home run that brought home 2 with her. She skies this one to left. It has the height, though the shortstop, Summer Hickson, backs up to make the play for out number 1. Sitting down Madison White has to do so much for the mental momentum for Alexa Good, or frankly any pitcher that goes against this Central Methodist lineup. When you sit down one of the best hitters and one of the hottest hitters, getting help from your shortstop. And once more for out number 2 as Elizabeth Palumbo goes down on the 6-3 out from Summer Hickson. Georgia Gwinnett allowed 2 runs in the 4th on a 2-run shot to Lauren Hill. Madison Roberts. She's 0 for 2 today. 2 fly balls to the outfield. The slider from Alexa Good perhaps got a piece of the bat of Madison Roberts. One of many freshmen in the starting lineup for Central Methodist, Roberts stands in for the 1-1. Throw down to second. Looked like an innocent-looking toss from Palaez from behind the plate. Made it to Josie Hawk. Kreider barely left second on the 2-1 pitch. After a leadoff double in her first appearance of the World Series, Alexa Good has sat down 2 and is 1 strike away from retiring the side. The 2-2. 2 hops, the second over the head of Hawk. The play at the plate not in time. The Eagles add another. Jolie Kreider comes around to score. Two hops that threw Josie Hawk for a loop. Ruled as a hit for Madison Roberts. And an RBI that extends the lead for Central Methodist 6-4. Now a replacement at the DP position. Daly Garland, number 9, off the bench, the sophomore, into the designated player spot. This her 39th appearance at the plate this season. Just hitting .158. (11 strikeouts, 10 walks for the sophomore infielder. Another chance for Alexa Good to get out of her first inning of work for the Grizzlies. Right back to Good. 2 strides and an underhand toss to Leah McFadden. And the top of the 5th. Garland grounds out, leaving 1 runner for the Eagles, not before Jolie Kreider, who reached on a double to lead things off, gets brought in by Madison Roberts with the RBI. A 6-4 lead for Central Methodist into the bottom of the 5th.
These lights were never meant to stay dark. These seats were never meant to stay empty. These places were never built to stay quiet. Game day looks different today. It might take some getting used to, but we come here for the same purpose: to celebrate, to embrace in heartbreak, to hope.
Two up for Georgia Gwinnett. Logan Aller, Summer Hickson, and Anna Lackey. Combined, they're 3 of 5 from the plate today. This bottom part of the lineup getting their first look at Haley Cotter in the circle, though. As Cotter came in and ended the 4th. The freshman pitcher. Just misses for ball 1. Logan Aller 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt and a strike in her time at the plate today. Here's the 1-2. It it all starts with the leadoff batter. It sets the tone for the inning. Last inning in the fourth, Summer Hickson led off with a home run. 3 more would be tacked on by the Grizzlies in the bottom of the fourth. That brought it within 1. Jolie Kreider extending the lead for the Eagles in the top of this 5th inning. Made it a 2-run lead. Georgia Gwinnett with a 1-2 to Aller. Slapped to left center. In the triangle, it falls. A base hit for Logan Aller. Consider the tone for the half-inning set. A leadoff single for Logan Aller. Summer Hickson 2 for 2 on the day. Her last swing of the bat, a shot over the left center fence. Hickson with a double in the second. Down 0-1. A base hit through the gap in left. Boy, it's a shame that one of these two teams will be sent home at the end of this performance. What a way to start off Saturday. A combined 17 hits through 5 innings, still awaiting the first out in the bottom of the 5th. Haley Cotter, who came in relief for Jordan Ball, delivers down low. That went off the bat of Anna Lackey for strike 1. Kat Eilenberg in her 11th season as head coach with Georgia Gwinnett founded this program. Her best friend played at Alabama in the mid-2000s, did Coach Kat Eilenberg. Her first year as a coach, before founding this program, she peppered Patrick Murphy and Allie Habits with questions in 2004 on, until the opportunity arose where Georgia Gwinnett was establishing a softball program 11 years ago. She learned from her friends at Alabama how to build a culture and build a program from the ground up. Foul ball on the bunt from Lackey. 1-2 the count to the 9-hole hitter. What are those principles that Coach Eilenberg built the program on? 3 core values: trust, respect, and integrity. She said, our players know that you'll always be treated fair if you respect yourselves and your opponent and do it the right way. That has earned this Georgia Gwinnett program 3 appearances in the NAIA World Series in their young history. 8 total tournament appearances at the NAIA level. Lackey slaps it to the pitcher. The throw to third, well behind the runner as Logan Aller beat it out. Bases loaded for Georgia Gwinnett. The leadoff batter, the top of the order, Sydney Pelaez, steps up with no outs in the bottom of the 5th. A bouncer, Cotter to first for 1. It's a one-run ball game as Logan Aller crosses the plate. Both Hickson and Lackey advance. A beautifully executed sacrifice for Sidney Pelaez. It goes in the score sheet as a ground out to the pitcher. But the message is the same. She gives herself up to score the runner from third. Josie Hawk, who singled in the fourth and came around to score. 2 hops to third off the glove of Kreider. The game is tied. Summer Hickson scores on the error by Jolie Kreider. A conversation for Coach Pat Reardon and his infield for Central Methodist. Coach Reardon, in his 31st season, one of the longest tenured coaches in the nation. 933 wins in the Heart of America Conference for his Central Methodist Eagles. This their 4th trip to the NAIA World Series and first since 2014, but it's the Grizzlies having some fun in the dugout now in a high-scoring affair, the first of its kind in this World Series. What a way to start your Saturday. Thanks for tuning in on the NAIA Network. 6-6, number 6. Throw to the plate, not in time. Throw to third, gets the second out, but not before Georgia Gwinnett takes their first lead on the day. 7-6, Grizzlies. Lindsey Owen with a beautiful piece of hitting. The throw from Oots was on a line, but Hill wisely knew the play at the plate wasn't there, so she goes down to third. And that gets Josie Hawk out. And a Lackey. The game's go-ahead run for Georgia Gwinnett. Owen takes off. Ball gets away from Madison Roberts. That's been the story of this inning. Leah McFadden at the plate. 1-1 on her with 2 down. 3 errors on the Central Methodist defense. That's total in the game. McFadden fouls the 2-1. McFadden bounces one in front of the plate. A fair ball in time to Palumbo. That ends the 5th. Georgia Gwinnett, for the first time this Saturday morning, have a lead, 7-6. 9 hits apiece. A high-scoring affair. Surely this isn't all the scoring we have. Central Methodist looks to tie things up and perhaps take the lead back again into the
Excellence knows it's not going to be perfect.
It's about putting courage first,
Taking risks. Trusting my athleticism.
canceling out the negativity.
Because preparation equals confidence.
And confidence is born from courage.
What's your mantra?
At Spring Arbor University, we develop world changers focused on shining the light of Jesus Christ into the world. They are engineers, nurses, business professionals, teachers, athletes, musicians, social workers, and other industry leaders, bringing excellence to their work for the glory of God. Join our thousands of students and graduates and let your light shine at Spring Arbor University.
Central Methodist has been rather efficient at the plate today. Just 3 runners left on base for 9 hits and 6 runs. That was good for the lead through 4.5. But in the bottom of the 5th, Georgia Gwinnett scores 3 on 3 hits. That gives the Grizzlies their first lead on the day. And their relief pitcher, Alexa Good. Some positivity. This is now Good's second inning of work after giving up an earned run in the last inning, as Jolie Kreider led it off with a double. A fair ball. Casey Jolly, a stand-up double for the second time in a row. The Eagles lead off the inning with a stand-up double. That one just fair, left a mark on the chalk, proving that was a fair ball. Meeting in the circle for the Georgia Gwinnett defense, with Lauren Hill, who crushed a homer her last time up, at the plate. It was a 2-run shot that brought in Jolly in the 4th. A slapper, good for a base hit. The runner sent. Jolly at home scores with ease. Central Methodist, just like that, ties it at 7. A beautiful slap hit from Lauren Hill. Not your traditional slap going oppo. She got in front of that one and pulled it all the way around. Sprinted down the first base line and stood in at second as she watched her teammate Casey Jolly get waved around by Pat Reardon at third, easily scoring from second base. 2 pitches, 2 doubles for the Central Methodist Eagles to start the 6th inning. Tied at 7. Again, the coaches have a chat with their teams, though this time it is not Kat Eilenberg out of the dugout. That is instead Ashley Razy, assistant coach in her first year, a graduate of the University of Georgia. She relays some instructions to her relief pitcher, Alexa Good. Alexa now, who has thrown 20 pitches, yet to record a strikeout, has 2 earned runs against her. Big hack from Caitlin Kaiser. That one, had Kaiser gotten a hold of, that surely would have brought home the go-ahead run for the Eagles, with Lauren Hill ready to take off at second. The 1-1. What movement on that pitch. The spin from Alexa Good. Gorgeous. As it looked inside. Kaiser even backed up so she didn't get hit. Came across the plate. Kaiser turns on the next pitch she sees. Foul. That's how you know you've got some serious movement on the rock, when you've got the batter leaning in every which way and still a called strike. 2-1, or rather 1-2, with no outs in the top of the 6th. An easy catch on the pop to Angelica Gallegos that holds Hill at second. Kalena Oots started the game off with a single and came around to score on a 3-run homer for Madison White in the top of the 1st inning. Since then, she's 0 for 2. Coach Pat Reardon calls her Biscuit. It's kind of a long path to get there. Oots, the last name of the star center fielder. Tough for Coach Reardon to say. Called her Oats, led him to Horses, led him to Seabiscuit, shortened up to just Biscuit for the junior center fielder. That kind of clues you into the kind of man that Pat Reardon is. 31 years of coaching at Central Methodist. After going to Central Methodist, played soccer there mainly, but also 3 years of baseball. Oots earns a walk. With Hill at second and Biscuit over at first, Jolie Kreider with 1 out. Watches ball 1. The conversation for Sydney Pelaez and Alexa Good. The outfielders will get together as well, unless this is an extreme shift to center field. Logan Aller and Anna Lackey made a long jog to meet Chloe Goins where she was at the 220 sign, as you see them start to make their way back to their positions, as marked by the more browned up grass where all of the outfielders have been standing for the previous 8 games played so far in the 42nd Annual Softball World Series at the NAIA level. This, the hashtag Battle for the Red Banner. You can follow that hashtag for all news, notes, and information on NAIA softball and baseball continuing at the NAIA postseason schedule. The Baseball World Series starting today. Boy, did Jolie Kreider turn on that one. Had it stayed fair, that thing was well beyond the fence that is permanently installed at R.G. Jones Field. Out number 2. Strikeout number 1 for Alexa Good. Madison White, a homer, a single, and a flyout. One of the hottest hitters in the NAIA this postseason, Madison White. Slaps one well out of play. Look at the bleachers down the first baseline. Plenty of fans scattered throughout in the sunshine today, taking in the rays with not a cloud in sight above us at R.G. Jones Field. Here's the 1-2 from Good. Slap to third, a touch of the bag for Angelica Gallegos. Ends the top of the 6th with just 1 run scored for the Eagles. They entered this inning trailing for the first time today. They head to the bottom of the 6th, knotted at 7.
I have a little birthday message for you from someone too.
I heard you really love basketball. You're a good shooter and a good dribbler. Happy birthday, MJ, and I hope you enjoy your day.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Georgia Gwinnett's last time up saw them put up 3 runs on 3 hits. In their last 2 innings combined, 6 runs on 7 hits. The 4th inning ignited the comeback for Georgia Gwinnett. It all started with a solo home run from Summer Hickson to lead off the 4th. 3 runs would score then. Grounder to second. Easily, Madison White tosses to Palumbo for out number 1. Chloe Goins had to fight through Drake playing in the background at R.G. Jones Field during that at-bat. 1 dance, Madison White, 1 out. Haley Cotter in the circle after replacing Jordan Ball has looked, well, iffy, to say the least. A difficult task in a game such as this, where it seems like anyone can turn on any pitch. A combined 19 hits for 14 runs. Cotter, 2 innings pitched, 3 runs earned against. No strikeouts. Angelica Gallegos with some artwork on the left arm. Stands in for the 3-0. That one in there, says Terry Hall. Haley Cotter has yet to walk a batter. A 1-out single for Gallegos brings up the hottest part of the lineup. It's the bottom of the lineup for Georgia Gwinnett. A combined 4 runs on 5 hits for the bottom 3 hitters for the Grizzlies today. Throwback to first, not in time. Gallegos with a slide. Safe. 7-7 our score. Bottom of the 6th. 10 hits apiece in an offensive onslaught for both teams. Gallegos tempting Lauren Hill. Does not advance further than 4 steps towards second base. The 1-1 from Haley Cotter. Columbus, Georgia, the site of the 42nd annual NAIA Softball World Series. 5th time that Columbus has been the host. 3rd straight year. To right field. Logan Aller delivers once more. She wanted 3. But Gallegos was held up at 3rd. A long double for Logan Aller. Summer Hickson is a triple away from the cycle. She can give the Grizzlies the lead with 1 swing of the bat. Another trot to the mound, or rather the circle, for Jonathan Lynch. One of 2 coaches on the staff for Central Methodist, not with the last name Reardon. Coach Pat Reardon in his 31st season, joined by Gene Reardon, the associate head coach who came along in 2005, and now his daughter Addison, a graduate in 2019, on the staff as well. In the bullpen for the Eagles, Jordan Ball, who started this game in the circle, gets loose once more. Ball threw 3 1/3 innings, gave up 6 hits and 4 earned runs. Haley Cotter has given up 5 hits and 3 earned runs. The difference, Ball with 3 strikeouts, Cotter with 0. 1 out. A passed ball scores the game's go-ahead run. A miscue once more. Georgia Gwinnett takes advantage. "9-7 Georgia Gwinnett." All Summer Hickson had to do was take ball 1 and get out of the way. Gallegos and Logan Aller both come around to score in the matter of seconds. The pass ball and then the error. A critical mistake, doubled for Lauren Hill. My apologies to Lauren Hill. It is ruled a wild pitch. Bounced just before the plate, as does that one. So between the pitcher, Haley Cotter, and the catcher, Lauren Hill, the wild pitch and then the error allows Georgia Gwinnett to take their second lead of the game in the bottom of the 6th. Four errors.
This is a test. This is a test of the Columbus, Muskogee County Outdoor
Well, how about this?
Warning System.
A PSA
This is only a test.
that'll halt the game and strike some fear into some hearts. A public system alert warning, or whatever you want to call it. A booming voice who well, and here we go, a siren as well. We haven't dealt with this all weekend. You may as well have some fun with it. Georgia Gwinnett on top, 9-7. They've been doing a lot of that, rounding the bases today. And it seems to get louder. I would say the system works, Columbus. Not unlike the train horns at 2 a.m. that run through downtown Columbus, Georgia. We hear you loud and clear. This is unbelievable. Just as you think it's over, get a look at the Georgia Gwinnett dugout. They're still into it. Let's just run through all the sound effects on the board. Whoever is in charge of the noises in Columbus, Georgia, you've done a fine job of disrupting our game. If nothing else, this gives the Central Methodist Eagles a long time to talk amongst the infield and figure out what the problems have been, and a chance for both Haley Cotter and the catcher Lauren Hill to exhale and forget about the wild pitch and error that gave up 2 runs, the go-ahead runs, earlier in this bottom of the 6th. Summer Hickson on a 2-2 takes ball 3, despite there being a hefty delay of about 2 minutes between pitches 4 and 5 of the at-bat. Now the payoff from Cotter. You never know what kind of turning points you're going to get in a ball game. That siren may have just been the turning point for Haley Cotter and the Eagles. A strikeout. Now Enalaki. Now a loud explosion in the background. What is going on in Columbus, Georgia? The heads of many fans in the stands all cranking 180 degrees, looking to see what's going on. A slap for Lackey goes foul. That strikeout on Summer Hickson was massive for Cotter, as Hickson sits with a single, a double, and a home run today. Getting her down does a lot for the momentum of the Eagles. Enalaki with a single, reaching on a fielder's choice the last time up. She watches ball 3. The bottom of the 6th has been wild. Haley Cotter, after striking out Summer Hickson, puts Enalaki at first. It feels like ages ago that runners were at second and third earlier in this inning. Gallegos and Aller came around to score on a wild pitch and then an error on the catcher, Lauren Hill, trying to throw back to Haley Cotter, who came to cover the plate. Georgia Gwinnett with just their 2nd time having the lead today. A pros take for Sydney Pelaez on the 0-1. Two outs gone by, as even further ago it was Chloe Goins grounding out to second to begin this half inning. Pelaez nearly added on to the offensive explosion for Georgia Gwinnett that started back in the 4th when Summer Hickson cranked a homer. It was a 5-1 lead for Central Methodist entering the bottom of the 4th. Full count. Cotter to Pelaez. A bouncer. Beautifully fielded by Madison White to end the bottom of the 6th. A wild pitch and an error. 2-run score. A siren halts play. and one left. What an inning. We head to the seventh in a two-run game. Georgia Gwinnett looks to hold on to the lead.
The landscape of sports is changing. AI is the next evolution. We're bringing it to fields and gyms everywhere with Huddle Focus. Just mount it, set it, and forget it. Multiple lenses, AI player tracking, automatic recording, or record on the fly with the Focus app, instant uploads, and flexible live streaming options. AI is changing sports. Use it to your advantage. Visit huddle.com/focus today.
The winner of this game advances in the losers bracket. The loser heads home. Central Methodist down to their final 3 outs. They held the lead for 5 innings. They tied it in the 6th after going down 7-6. High fly ball in foul territory. The wind took that one away from Gallegos. 0-2. Elizabeth Palumbo has yet to reach first base today, 0 for 3. Alexa Good out of the circle. Annalise Wood back in. She started the game and comes in for the save opportunity. Today she's thrown 4 innings, has 6 strikeouts. Pitch number 72 of the morning from Annalise Wood. This the opportunity for save number 4 in the sophomore campaign of the Mount Juliet, Tennessee native. The 0-2 from Wood. Bold to Sydney Pelaez. Strikeout number 7. 1 down. 2 outs away from advancing. Central Methodist turns to Madison Roberts. Had a single in the 5th, was left there. The Eagles have hit 2 home runs today. They walked off with a 2-run home run to start the tournament in extras against Baker. Safe to say that one swing of the bat can change everything for the Eagles of the Heart of America Conference. A pop up to third into the mitt of Gallegos. The season of Central Methodist on the line. Montana Stengel, who was replaced in the 5th at the DP position, comes back in for the largest at-bat of the season for Central Methodist. 2 outs. Georgia Gwinnett moves on. They overcome a 4-run deficit. They come back twice. The Grizzlies take it 9-7 with 11 hits. And the season for the Eagles of Central Methodist comes to a close. Not without a lack of trying. The Eagles leave Columbus, Georgia, having left everything in the tank on the field. Ten hits, 7 runs, but 4 errors, and a costly play that allowed Georgia Gwinnett to score 2 in the 6th is the difference. The wild pitch from Haley Cotter combined with the error of Lauren Hill costs Central Methodist their season. The Grizzlies remain in Columbus. They will take on the loser of our game to be played at 7 p.m. this evening. Cumberlands and Marion, the 3 and 7 seeds, meet under the lights at R.G. Jones Field this evening at 7 Eastern. You can tune into that game here on the NAIA Network. Thanks for joining us for this one, game number 2 of our docket. Also an elimination game, high stakes for Our Lady of the Lake and Midland, the team that knocked off last year's champs and 2018's champs. The Midland Warriors, the 10 seed, try to knock off the number 2 seeded Saints of Our Lady of the Lake. That at 1 p.m. Eastern, about 45 minutes from now. We invite you to stay tuned for that, as well as our 2 games following. For our entire crew, our cameras of Kyle Bonet, Deshaun Bullock, Ryan McCachran, and Will Lawrence. Jeff Childs on graphics, with Adam Hamill running the 1s and 2s under executive producer Chase Neidig. My name is Jack Cruiser. Till next time, folks, I bid you adieu.